Hello, friends. Welcome to an unscheduled live broadcast with Crime Time with DutyRon. You know the drill. I'm a retired New York City police detective, and if you like all things true crime related from the police detective's perspective, hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you'll get all things DutyRon and Ed Wallace when we go live or upload another video. Hey, today I want to talk to you really quick about Gabby Petito. We haven't heard or spoke about this case in a long time. You know, her parents are suing the Laundrie family down in Florida. They're suing also the Moab Police Department. JB has been doing some great coverage on this case. And I want to quickly out of the gate say my sincere condolences to JB from WFLA now on the passing of his dad in the recent past. So sending strength, prayers, and positive vibes to you, my friend JB. And thank you for reporting on this case. Today, Gabby Petito's family, her parents released a photo, a selfie taken just a short time after the August 12th of 2021 car stop that we all witnessed on body cam footage from two different angles of the Moab police stopping her and Brian Laundrie in Utah. You know, there's a lawsuit against the Moab Police Department by the family. This selfie taken arguably by Gabby Petito herself is a real difficult thing to look at. It's in my thumbnail. You could see tears in her eyes, and on the left side of her face, you can see lots of bruising, and I have to do a little closer looking at this, but it doesn't, you know, it doesn't look like it would be something that me as a police officer would see on the scene and just say, oh, you know, you're the aggressor. I'm going to send Brian to a safe hotel for the night. So this photo to me was disturbing. Let's just play the quick clip. Josh has it, and I'll play it one more time at the end of this. But I want to play this. This is from WFLA now. It's just 2 minutes long. And if you suffer from PTSD, I'm going to put that disclaimer out there. If you suffer from PTSD, this is a difficult thing to look at because it is Gabby Petito just, 15 days before she was discovered in the Tetons. So go ahead, Josh, let it rip.
A heartbreaking new photo of Gabby Petito has been released by attorneys representing her parents, and they say that this photo was taken around the same time that Petito and Brian Laundrie had an encounter with Utah police. Now, while this photo might be difficult for some, it was released with the approval of Gabby Petito's parents as they have filed suit against the Moab Police Department. You might remember back on August 12th of 2021, Moab police, they responded to a 911 call after a witness had seen an altercation occur between the couple. But after roughly an hour or so of roadside interviews, Petito was the one described as the potential aggressor in the case, and the couple were instructed to separate for the night without any charges being filed. The new selfie that we now have this comes from Petito's phone. It shows Petito's injuries far more clearly, and her attire in this photo matches the attire that she had on in the body camera video. In the body cam video, Petito
Josh, can you stop it for a second?
Sure, but rather,
you know, friends, I want to say something quick here. She's wearing the same attire as the body cam footage, but I want to also remind you that they were living in a van, living on the road, and this attire doesn't necessarily 100% mean that it was a photo that was taken that same day. This could have been a photo, and I want to just put this out there. This is not 100%, but this could have been a photo that was taken after this car stop happened. This could have been days after it. There's no definitive answer of exactly when this photo was taken, at least to us as the public. Maybe the attorneys representing the Petito family, they know from the cellular data when this photo was taken. But as it stands right now, as JB is reporting, she's wearing the same attire, but this could have been 2 days later after this car stop happened. It could have been Brian Laundrie's rage afterwards that he inflicted on her after the car stop. I'm not saying that this is a fact, that that's what happened, but this is a possibility. So if you can play it again, Josh, let's let the rest of this roll.
video. Petito says that Brian didn't punch her, but rather grabbed her, and that she was cut by a fingernail, a cut that explains what we're seeing here in this selfie as far as the blood that is smeared on her face. In addition to the physical injuries clearly written here on Petito's face is just a look of pure pain. Gabby clearly distraught, tears in her eyes. We have reached out to the Moab Police Department. This, of course, we have their statement. It's on WFLA.com. I'm going to read it here. It's on my screen. It's a statement from November of 2022, where it's a long statement, but I'll say that they say in their statement their officers are not responsible for Petito's murder and couldn't have foreseen what was going to happen to Gabby Petito, of course, in the future at the hands of Brian Laundrie. They say that they're going to ardently defend against this lawsuit. They're ardently going to defend their police department, which tells us, of course, that a settlement in this case is unlikely. There's also the lawsuit that is pending here in the state of Florida. Gabby Petito's parents filing lawsuit against Brian Laundrie's parents, and now the newly added co-defendant in that case is longtime family attorney for the Laundries, Stephen Bertolino in New York. We have the latest reporting on both of these lawsuits, the one in Florida, the one in Utah. You can find it all on WFLA.com, the WFLA app.
Thank you, Josh. Thanks. And Josh, if you could just cue that back, because one more time before we leave, I want to play it, but I want to get my thoughts out here. Okay, again, for those of you in the chat, we don't have all of the information on this, and I always err on the side of caution because we don't know if in fact Gabby Petito presented this way. The photo that is shown there, to me, as any law enforcement professional would say and agree with me on this, if I saw Gabby Petito with that amount of injuries on her face during the time of that stop, then yes, something should have been different. If that could be proven that that was there. But I saw her face on the body cam footage pretty well. And during that body cam footage, I did not see these same injuries that are shown in this photo right here. Now, maybe we didn't have great angles or great view of her face, but there was quite a bit of, I have a lot of coverage, and I'm going to link it in the description here. I'll link it down below. I reviewed the body cam footage, and they talked about on the left side of her face that she had a scratch. I believe, if my memory serves me correct, police officers talked about something on the left side of her face, and she said she made a reference to it, but there was not any. Josh, if there was a way you could get that picture up, that would be great. If I could see that picture quickly, if I could show that picture of her again, it's in my thumbnail. But my thing is this, is that, listen, if that type of injuries were presenting themselves to the Moab Police Department and they didn't take any action on it, shame on them. But in my experience, more times than not, when you have a domestic violence situation, and domestic violence is a very serious matter. I took it very, very seriously in the police department. I locked up many people for domestic violence, both male and female. Females committing it against males, but more so males committing it against females. But when you have domestic violence and you make an arrest, that sometimes fuels the fire for future interactions with that couple. So when you have police involved, and then there's a separation of male and female, or female, male, male, you now have a propensity for violence to happen after the fact. So what I'm saying is that there's always a potential that Gabby received these injuries the next day or the day after that when they circled back and got back together. Now, that's just a conversation that I'm having here. Don't crucify me for just giving you both sides of this thing. Again, if she was just the way we see in this picture here, while the Moab police stopped the couple, then shame on them for not, locking him up and maybe doing a cross complaint. But again, I didn't see that. So I call the balls and strikes, as Ed Wallace says. Here on Crime Time with DutyRon, we call the balls and strikes. Sumina, thank you so much for the super chat. And again, I'm not defending Brian Laundrie. I think Brian Laundrie is a scumbag. I despise any male who is inflicting pain on a female or on anybody else. I despise any type of assault, any type of violence. But at the end of the day, you know, we have to see, you know, the totality of what happened here. And I think the totality of what happened here is beyond what our knowledge is, because we're all going to be guessing. This is a case that really shocked the world, you know, shocked the world. And we look at a situation like this, and now this photo that's released here, if in fact this photo was taken that day and she was sent off to go and sleep in a van and he was sent to a safe house at a hotel, then in my eyes, that was the wrong decision to make. But I did not see that. I did not see that. Sue Mina says they didn't show that side of her face, but they showed a full, Sue, thank you for that comment. They showed a full view of her in the front. If I was home and in the studio, I would roll the body cam footage and I would show you that there was many times that Gabby was straight in front of that police officer. Remember when he took her out of the van? Hey, could you step out of the van for me? Could you come over here? You know, hey, Gabby, what's happening? So that police officer, I'm talking about the actual officers who were on the scene, had Miss Petito right in front of them. And if she had those injuries that we're seeing here in this photo, there is no possible way that they would have just sent her on her way and said, you sleep in the van for the night. We're going to take Brian because you're the aggressor here. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying is that, you know, despite what we see on the body cam footage, and I think we had a good, clear picture of her face, you know, if these injuries were clear and evident, then we would see here. Josh, go full screen with that. Thank you for pulling that up quick, Josh. But pull that up full screen. There's a good look. Can you zoom that in, pinch and make that bigger so we could see in closer? Here's an example of what we saw in this. This is the both right and left side of her face. And you guys can take screenshots of that if you want and take a peek at that. I do not see any of these kind of injuries in this. This is the body cam footage of her in the back of the vehicle. And ladies and gentlemen, again, I can't overemphasize this enough. I am not trying to defend Brian Laundrie. I think he's a scumbag. I think he was a coward. He took his own life. And I feel that, you know, Gabby Petito is a victim of domestic violence and was murdered by Brian Laundrie. But that is one of many straight up pictures of her face. And that's why we hear language from the Moab police that they plan to fight this case, wholeheartedly fight this case, that there was nothing, that they did nothing wrong. So this is the evidence. They have an hour's worth of body cam video footage of all different angles of Gabby Petito's face. I don't see anything on there that represents the injuries that we see in the picture that was released today. I have a feeling, and I could be wrong, I have a feeling that he got out, or the both of them, she left the hotel, he left the hotel the next day, they got back together, and he inflicted those injuries on her after this police car stop. Because again, as I said, most times when you have a domestic violence call and you separate or you arrest the perpetrator, whether it's the male or the female as the perpetrator, if you arrest the aggressor, more times than not, that aggressor comes back with a vengeance and comes back and inflicts even more harm. And in some instances, unfortunately, I have taken orders of protections out of females' pockets when they were killed by their significant other after trying to protect themselves, trying to protect their children, trying to protect others from getting hurt, themselves and others. I've unfortunately pulled order of protections from lifeless female victims in cases like this. Let me say thank you to the super chatters, Parnes family. Thank you, Nate, for the super chat. Nate sending in a $10 super chat. That is one of my coworkers here. Hold on, I got to highlight that because he is. I work closely with him, and he is here at the office. Let me get this up on the screen because I got to scroll back and highlight the Parnes family. Thank you for your super chat. Where did it go, for crying out loud? There it is. I found it. Woo. There he is, my operations director. Nate, thank you so much for the super love. Much appreciated, brother. So again, I err on the side of caution. I err on the side of caution because we don't have all the facts. But once those facts are all out, then we will speak about it. And I think that, again, I strongly feel that if this was Gabby Petito's, the way she presented herself, right, at in that car stop on August 12th of 2021, the Moab Police Department, those 4 officers or 5 officers that were on that location saw these injuries, it was be a guarantee that he would get arrested and she probably would get arrested. It would be a cross complaint. So Josh, if you could just play that one more time, and then we'll take some questions from the audience. Play it from the beginning if you can, the 2-minute video from JB, and then we'll have a conversation about this, and then we'll wrap it up.
A heartbreaking new photo of Gabby Petito has been released by attorneys representing her parents, and they say that this photo was taken around the same time that Petito and Brian Laundrie had an encounter with Utah police. Now, while this photo might be difficult for some, it was released with the approval of Gabby Petito's parents as they have filed suit against the Moab Police Department. You might remember back on August 12th of 2021, Moab police, they responded to a 911 call after a witness had seen an altercation occur between the couple. But after roughly an hour or so of roadside interviews, Petito was the one described as the potential aggressor in the case, and the couple were instructed to separate for the night without any charges being filed. The new selfie that we now have this comes from Petito's phone. It shows Petito's injuries far more clearly, and her attire in this photo matches the attire that she had on in the body camera video. In the body cam video, Petito says that Brian didn't punch her, but rather grabbed her, and that she was cut by a fingernail, a cut that explains what we're seeing here in this selfie as far as the blood that is smeared on her face. In addition to the physical injuries, clearly written here on Petito's face is just a look of pure pain. Gabby clearly distraught, tears in her eyes. We have reached out to the Moab Police Department. This, of course, we have their statement. It's on WFLA.com. I'm going to read it here. It's on my screen. It's a statement from November of 2022, where it's a long statement, but I'll say that they say in their statement, their officers are not responsible for Petito's murder and couldn't have foreseen what was going to happen to Gabby Petito, of course, in the future at the hands of Brian Laundrie. They say that they're going to ardently defend against this lawsuit. They're ardently going to defend their police department, which tells us, of course, that a settlement in this case is unlikely. There's also the lawsuit that is pending here in the state of Florida. Gabby Petito's parents filing lawsuit against Brian Laundrie's parents, and now the newly added co-defendant in that case is longtime family attorney for the Laundries, Stephen Bertolino in New York. We have the latest reporting on both of these lawsuits, the one in Florida, the one in Utah. You can find it all on WFLA.com, the WFLA app.
Thank you so much, Josh. Much appreciated. This, again, wasn't a scheduled live stream. In response to this, I did send a message to Nicole Petito. I sent her just my thoughts and prayers and my strength and positive vibes I wanted to send to her. I know this is a really tough thing for a family to go through. And I want to say thank you to you guys for being a great part of the families of these victims. You're a part of this Crime Time with DutyRon community. And because of the way that you guys act here in this community, it's a relief to these families because, Gabby's mom definitely watches these videos. I know for a fact she watches us. She watches what we talk about. And again, all of the victims that family members that are left, the surviving family members, they're victims too, because they have to live the rest of their lives with this horror. And I'm sure that there's much more inside Gabby Petito's phone that will be released in the time going forward. So we'll have to look at and see these examples of the horrors that happen, with all of these horrific domestic violence cases. So again, I want to just say thank you to each and every one of you. Tomorrow night, we're going to have Dr. Joni Johnston. She's going to come on and she's going to talk to us about Brian Kohlberger. She's going to give us the forensic psychology side. We're going to talk about some of his writings and some of the things, the assignments that he did when he was at DeSales University. I hope you guys can all join me for that live interactive broadcast tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern. Dr. Joni Johnson, a forensic and clinical psychologist, she's going to come on and she's going to talk to us about Brian Kohlberger. So looking forward to that. I'm hoping that each and every one of you can join us there. There's been just so many different things going on. We're going to be covering Cassie Carley. You remember Cassie Carley? She too fell victim to domestic violence by her baby's father, Marcus Spanavello. We're going to have Ray Carley, Cassie Carley's sister, on with us. So that's going to be an interesting live stream as well. That's going to come this week. And Ed Wallace is in Bangkok. He's in Thailand and he's doing his thing. He's doing his army training. We'll have Ed on with us again towards the latter part of this week. So we've got a whole bunch of things going on. But I want to also ask you guys to go over and watch some of the YouTube short videos that we upload. Go over and watch some of these shorts. Give it some love. Give it a thumbs up. And hang out with us on the shorts. The YouTube shorts are something that, you know, it's something that YouTube is pushing out a lot more now. So if you can, go and watch those YouTube shorts. All right, guys and girls, a lot of love and respect from my house to yours. I want to just say thank you for joining, sending strength, prayers, and positive vibes to the Petito family and Schmidt family. I'll see you on the next one. God bless the world. God bless the United States of America. And God bless each and every one of us here in the chat. I'll see you all soon. Peace and love from Crime Time with DutyRon. Thanks for joining.